Hey sports fans, I'm Trevor Pill here with Chris Perry, who knows everything about Tyler Lee. We're going to talk about a little bit about last week with John Tyler and Robert E. Lee faced off in the Rose City rivalry. Chris, it seemed like it was all Robert E. Lee.
It definitely was in the first half. They got the 42 points, and then in the second half they did what they had to do, which is slow down. You knew John Tyler was going to come out with some momentum in the second half in a big rivalry game. Lee lost its quarterback and still found a way to hold John Tyler somewhat in check, and they were able to add to their lead. Talking to Coach Piskey, that's what he was really happy about, is that not only were they able to slow John Tyler down, but they were able to add to their lead in the second half.
Now, for people that weren't there to be able to make it, it seemed like Robert E. Lee finally put together a full game.
Absolutely. 4 quarters of offense, defense, special teams. Probably not the best, but when you're kicking off as many times as Lee was, sometimes you're going to give up some kick returns. I think they'll take that when you're kicking off as many times as they are. They scored 9 touchdowns.
What was the best part of that? Was it the passing, rushing, or was it just an all-around complete game?
I thought it was a complete game, and it needed to be a complete game to be John Tyler, because I mean you knew that JT was going to come out fresh and firing and doing what they wanted to do, and Lee just took them out of their game and kind of took over the game.
And so John Tyler does fall to Robert E. Lee in the Rose City rivalry. Now Robert E. Lee is going to go on into district. District starts this week for them. Some other teams have a bye week, being in 6A. There are a couple more teams. Let's hear from Coach Piskey how they face Garland-Sachse.
Do you envision another shootout between you two?
Well, I mean, if you're just outside looking in, then you got to say, yeah, you know, just because our offense has been shown that it can put up points, and their offense with all that speed has shown it can put up points. So it's going to come down to which defense gets the most stops, and that's the team that's going to win.
You're going to have to go through your first district game, and definitely your first district game, your second, third, with a sophomore quarterback who has not ever made a varsity start. How do you get it done?
Well, you just got to do what he can do. You know, that's what the offense staff did this weekend. They went through the playbook, kind of took out what's unnecessary for him and what Chance does well, which is a lot of things. And so they were able to kind of narrow it down, simplify it for him, where he doesn't have to do a lot of thinking as far as reading keys and checking and doing all that stuff. So I think they did a good job, got it narrowed down. Now it's just a matter of going out and him being able to do that on Friday night. Luckily, it was a big rivalry last week, so it was a big atmosphere, a big crowd, and he got to come in front of it and play the second half. And I think we scored, except for the one scoop and score, and the one we chose to kneel on it and end the game, we scored every possession. Well, you know, just talking from a team standpoint, Zach and I, you know, we communicated this weekend, making sure he understood that all his life's goals and dreams are still in front of him. He's going to have some work and effort to reach them, but they can still be reached. So he realizes that, and he knows where he's got to go as a team. You know, first thing we talked about Saturday morning was, you know, they don't call us a football person, they call us a football team. And so we as a team, when a guy steps out like Zach is for now, we got to rally and we got to raise our game just to pick up. And we're losing a great player. I mean, American State Bank Player of the Year. It's not like, you know, not like losing me out there. I mean, they're losing somebody that's really good. So all the other guys got to rise up and rally around Chance. And defensively, we got to get better and continue to improve on defense. Special teams, I got to be better on special teams. If we'll do that and raise our level of play, then you can overcome a loss to a great player like Zach.
All right, Chris. Now again, they're playing Garland-Sachse. District starts this week. What do they have to do without a Zach Hall?
Well, for one thing, they can't kick to Devin Duvernay under any circumstances. They need to either be kicking out of bounds or kicking it a pooch kick, or they onside kicked last year when they played Sachse just to keep it out. And Duvernay runs. He's so fast. He's the 100-meter dash champion. He's just amazing. It's going to be a shootout. I think what has to happen is Lee's going to have to score at least 40 points again, with a backup quarterback now leading the charge, and because you know that Sachse is going to score what they usually do. They average right over 40 points a game too. It's going to be a shootout. It may come down to a defensive stop, a defensive play, interception, something like that.
Now, you know, a lot of that pressure, a lot of the team relied on Zach Hall. Who's going to have to step up in his position and kind of take over a leadership role?
Well, I think you're going to look at Tavon Wesley in the backfield. He was immense against John Tyler running the football. Datavian Thacker also has been big in the backfield for Lee. Tyreek Grayson, the slot receiver, has been fantastic. Mason Parker, you got Ijuan Barker out on the outside, and Dante Johnson on the other wide receiver spot. You've got plenty of weapons there for them to, for him to use. They just have to remember that it's a sophomore back there. It's no longer a senior. And mistakes are going to take place, but he did show some terrific things against JT running and throwing the football.
There you go. And some final thoughts from Chris Perry. What are some executions that Robert Lee is going to have to do to pull out a win in this first district game?
Well, I believe that they can't turn it over. It's going to be so tough to beat Sac as it is, just because with how explosive their offense is, with the two Duvernays. They can't turn the ball. They can't give them extra possessions. They're going to have to be really, really strong on special teams on kickoff, try not to give them really short fields. And then when they get the ball, they're going to have to score. Like I said, it's going to take at least 40 points. This is on the road. It's a district game. It's in Garland. It's going to be difficult. We'll see if Robbie Lee can get it done.
Prediction score?
I can't give a prediction based on the fact that it's with a new quarterback and whatnot. It's going to be too difficult to tell. I think if Lee can get over that 40-point margin, if the defense can make some plays, they may have a chance to go in and get a victory. But it's going to be very difficult.
There you have it. Tyler Lee against Garland Sac in Garland. It is a Thursday game. You can follow Chris Perry on Twitter at CPerryETFS. He will give you all the live updates as they're happening. As for me, I'll see you next week.